Boozing with gays.
Hello, everyone. No one's here yet. I'm by myself. Well, since I have 0 people here, I'm going to do this one more time.
Boozing with gays.
Woo. Hello to anyone that is here. You may notice that Michael Shepard is quickly joining us.
Start the music.
We still have 0 people. Oh, we just jumped to 3 because they heard your name. I'll start the music. You feel better?
Boozing with gays.
We have to start by telling people what.
No, we have to play the song again.
This is insane. Well, this is 4.
Play the song again.
I'm drinking my water.
Boozing with gays.
I'm drinking water. Are you in the mood now?
Just in case I get horny, Bruce. Mm-hmm.
Okay, come on, tell them what happened.
All right, so we're about to start, and I heard a noise outside. And I was like, what is that? What is this noise I'm hearing outside of my house? And I walked downstairs, and there's a half-naked man.
Half-naked.
Like, roaming through streets, looking like he crazy.
Rolling through
the street.
Rolling through
I was like, uh-oh.
And going through people's garbage. Tapping on garage doors.
You can tell they look cray, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, so I'm calling the neighbors. I'm like, okay, get down here. We got a situation, because that's our street. Our street is very much like we are tight-knit. We protect each other. We are so tight-knit.
You are so funny right now. You're in it.
Baby.
You are like, you feel this pop.
People start showing up at the door. Boyfriend was like, I won't be back on this street again.
And then I kept saying, Michael, we got a show.
I'm trying to protect the neighborhood. I'm Captain Saberho. I'm out here being Captain Saberho.
Okay, say hi to Bethany.
Hey, babe.
Hey,
How
babe.
you doing? Hey, cheers.
Cheers, we got a drink.
Look at that.
This
Ain't that
is
pretty?
booze. This is pretty. I like what she did, by the way.
Hi.
That's the first kiss
That's my husband,
8
Hutch
days.
Foster. Well, it's been 7 days, so it's 7 days.
This is my husband, Michael A. Shepard.
How y'all doing out there?
And you better spell it correctly.
Mm-hmm. So tonight we're having the Bikinitini.
The Bikinitini.
The Bikinitini is a drink we had in Maui. First world problems. Just recently.
At least first world problems.
And it's Mandarin, Absolut Mandarin with pineapple juice and cranberry juice. And it's actually really refreshing and really great.
And it's also our take on it. If you look at Bikinitini in the thing, it's different boozes, actually.
Different boozes.
And I said, we have a lot of Absolut Mandarin. We're going to do it that way.
Because I am who? Captain Saberho. That's my job. My hair looks super curly tonight. I dig that.
Yeah.
It's like a little curl.
And mine is wet. I just got out of the shower. I'm very damp.
Look at you. You're dampish.
I'm dampish.
Say hi to people. I want to say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
My friend Bruce Orndorff is here. I hope you're still here. Hey, baby. I gave you a little shout out earlier. Bethany, we love you so much. Hey, Laura Knapp. And who else is here? I got to say, I got 2 screens going. Tracy Webster Cooley. Okay, and a whole bunch of other folks who've not said hello yet. But we just want to say thank you for joining us on these Friday nights. It is a delicious, delicious time because we get to drink and talk shit.
Let's get some business out of the way, shall we?
All right. This is our fair use. Excerpts
this.
Of copyrighted material may, under certain circumstances,
be quoted verbatim
for purposes such as
criticism,
news reporting,
teaching,
and research
without the need for permission from
or payment to the copyright holder. All right, there we go.
Out of the way.
Hey, Miss Tamara, how you doing?
I don't even got to say it. I haven't done this in ages.
It
is time. I think we're there.
Y'all, it's been a week.
It's been a week.
Cheers.
Got in the news and personal life and just down the list. It has
been a lot, y'all. But I
think there's a bug in my drink.
Oh my God, no, that's part of the pineapple.
Maybe.
It's part of the pineapple.
Well, I just
either way, it's protein.
It is, well.
And we like protein.
I don't think there's protein in pineapple.
I want to say hi to Mr. Jimmy Hendricks.
Look at that.
How beautiful is that shirt?
He lived right around the corner from us.
He lived right around the corner from us.
Point.
Yes. I mean, we were
wait,
here.
what was the mansion?
But his
It's
mansion is like
it's the
just up the street from us. It's
Merle.
absolutely gorgeous.
What was it? Merle Oberon.
Merle Oberon.
Mansion. No,
For the-
Talmadge.
I don't know, honey.
It was one of those older
I don't
ladies.
know.
It was her mansion, then became Jimi Hendrix's mansion. There
But
we
it's
go.
a lot. It's a lot. All right. So I want to start off with just saying goodbye to a great artist.
Yeah.
Go spell a little bit for the brothers who can't be here.
Yeah.
Michael Kenneth Williams. Michael K. Williams. He was an actor. You may know him from The Wire. He was also on Lovecraft Country.
Yeah. He was in so many shows.
Lovecraft Country. Lovecraft Country.
That's the country.
And he was just a phenomenal talent and just a good, decent human being. And he never announced what his sexuality was. I believe that he was a cis hetero man. But the way he defined queerness in his characters touched so many people.
Omar.
Yeah,
On The
Omar
Wire.
on The Wire,
Yeah.
baby. Or Chalky White on Boardwalk, and it was just
I forgot he was
Jet,
on Boardwalk. Yeah.
and it was just the way he defined his characters were so beautiful, and so just he reached way down deep in his personage and talked to the ancestors and said, "Hey, this is what us gonna do now." And the
I felt like we
ancestors
almost
listened.
said the same thing about Chadwick because he was.
Yeah.
They were similar actors. They were just so talented with so much
But
depth.
I tell you this, the brother left. The
He did.
brother left some work behind that will always be looked at as a fucking masterclass. And for that, a little bit to you, Mr. Michael K. Williams. All right.
We're spilling it down our throats, not on the
Yeah,
floor.
I can't spill on the floor, sticky. Hey, Zelma Davis, what you doing, girl? So good to see Kim Yarbrough in the house, too. All right.
Well, let me get rid of this banner.
All right.
We have, so with the death, unfortunate death, we also have
Life.
babies.
Babies are here.
The Buttigieges.
The Buttigieges.
I like saying that. The Buttigieges.
They are beyond thankful for the kind wishes, sharing the news they became parents to Penelope Rose and Joseph August Buttigieg. The Buttigieges have had 2 babies. Now, here's the fun thing.
What?
They have not
What's the
said.
fun stuff? Oh, I see what you're
They have not said whether these babies are twins.
It's not, the
Right.
outlets are going, twins?
Twins?
They think?
Maybe.
We're
We don't
guessing.
know. So
We also
I-
don't know if they were like, it was done through a surrogate, if they were
I
just
mean,
adopted.
first of
if
all,
they
let me
were-
be clear.
Whatever they did.
It ain't none of our goddamn business.
Whatever they did.
It ain't none of our goddamn business whether or not how these beautiful babies came into these men's lives.
Yeah.
All we need to do is sit there and know that these children
Mhm.
now have 2 amazingly beautiful parents.
Can I share a story?
What's that story?
So our good buddy Lizzie Ross, who's across the street with someone else in the story, which is Emma, her niece. Emma worked for the Buttigieg campaign when he was running for president. Sebastian.
Hey,
has
Sebastian, you want to
arrived.
say
You wanna
hi?
say hi?
You turned around. What was that?
Because I didn't. I
Do-
so
do
was
you
at
want
the
to-
door and there was a problem on
Yeah,
the
if
street.
you're going to talk, you have to talk
Come
here.
over here.
Did you find out any news about the person on the street?
All I know is a
No,
black
you have to be
person,
in
and
between us.
he looked like he was trying to look for recycling because he had a bag of garbage or whatever.
Yeah. So anyway,
Was that what
there
you
you
want
go.
to say?
Stick
You
it,
want
put your head in. Put your head in.
Get your head in the light.
Sean. Hey, Sean. Hey, bitch. How you doing, Sean? Good to see you, baby.
Do you have anything else to say? Blank, blank.
Then take your Dora the Explorer behind. Speaking of,
No,
you
no,
know
no,
what?
I gotta go back to this.
Go back
You gotta
to
let me
this.
do this.
Go back to this.
So Lizzie Ross and I went to, there was a Buttigieg event here in LA downtown,
Mhm.
and we got like this priority treatment because of Emma, Lizzie's niece, who was working for the campaign.
Yep.
And we went in and met Pete, and Pete was there. This is before his speech. And he was, he wasn't wearing a suit. He was just in his shirt. And there's a picture somewhere in the universe of myself and Lizzie Ross and Pete Buttigieg, and we're like smiling like that. And then of course he's like, "Move on, I got to take pictures with other people." And so then we walked over, and there was Chasten, and I went, "Hey, Chasten," and we started
Like you
talking.
do.
You do. And I said, and it was one of those things. I had a moment where I go, "I don't know where this is coming from." I said, "Look, I know this is none of my business, but when you guys starting a family?" I really was that person that night. And he goes, well, we've been talking about it. I think it's going to happen.
Is that the way he sounds like this?
So I don't know. I don't think he sounds like that at all. I just kind of put on a voice. I don't mean to make
Hey,
fun.
Sean Taylor, I
So,
want to talk about your book and interview you,
I'm
too.
pleased after that conversation that this has happened. But,
So, yay.
but hold on to your hats because we had more babies this
More
week.
babies.
Well, baby.
Oh,
We had
y'all, Miss
another
Cardi B.
baby.
Cardi B and Offset had their baby.
They had their baby.
They had their baby. Now, I'm happy for them. Love the fact that they had this baby. It's a beautiful thing.
Do you want that off?
But-
Is that what you're trying to do?
But what I want to point out is look at.
No. First, look at those blankets. I would say that's probably $20 for a set of 5, right?
Mhm.
Now look at this blanket. How much does that Louis Vuitton blanket cost? Well, you can grab that Neo Monogram blanket for $1,510.
Because we do too much. Because we do too much.
So at first,
We out here doing too much.
At first, they did not announce if it was a boy or girl. It is
Michelle
since-
Banks, we doing too much. Sean Taylor, we doing too much.
It's since been announced, not by them, but by people online. Well, the baby's wearing a blue hat, so they're assuming it's a boy. But they have their daughter, Culture. 3 years old, so they're building their family. So I say
love
yay.
it. I love it.
We have
but
babies.
You know what? This is what I say about us. We just extra as fuck. Because we're just going to bring a Louis Vuitton blanket to the hospital. I ain't mad at them because I would have done the same thing had I had that kind of cash on hand. Gloria Adams, what's up, baby?
Okay, you want to talk about that.
Oh, okay. So DearIke.com. So this past weekend, we had the pleasure of attending the world premiere.
Including you, Bethany. You were
And
there.
Bethany, Bethany, our line producer, was there, as well as our friend Patty. And we went to the premiere of Dear Ike. And you can follow it at DearIke.com. Y'all, when I tell you that this movie is so sweet,
It was
and
really
it's
sweet.
a documentary, Dear Ike, Letters to a Teen Idol. And it is so adorable and so sweet and so
And it
wonderful.
centers around the actor Ike Eisenman, who was in Escape to Witch Mountain, for those of you who remember.
And several
Escape.
other things. And he was also like the double.
He was in the Double Mint
He was
commercial.
in a Double Mint commercial.
Yeah.
But if you're of a certain age, you know.
And so Dion, who wrote and produced the movie and is in the movie,
Dion Labriola.
Dion goes, when he was just a young kid, he developed. He's an artist. He did graphics and he did cartoons and stuff, and he just had this inkling. He goes, I think Ike would like to work on my film, and the whole story is about this teenage kid reaching out to a movie star to say, hey, do you want to work on my film, and all the stuff that sort of ensues.
And then, like,
is one of these
You know,
things.
and then you
It was
find
charming.
out
It was
then
absolutely
it's 30 years in the making. I believe it's 30 years in the making of what happens, and with meeting Ike and Dion meeting, and it is you're just knocking the screen. It's really lovely. So we have the it is playing.
Oh yeah, there's a list.
There's a list.
So at the Orlando Film Festival, at the Film Fest Tucson, Napa Valley Film Festival, and New Filmmakers Los Angeles, you will get all specifics at www.dearike.com. It's just
so
enjoyable.
Really, if you want a feel-good documentary, it's an hour and 6 minutes long, y'all. And it just, you feel so freaking good at the end of this. Just go check it out.
Do you know what else makes you feel good?
What makes me feel
This
good besides Bernard K. Addison?
This made you feel good.
Start with a move popularized by Fosse, jazz hands. Not one to rest on his laurels, Fosse kept innovating with moves like jazz neck, jazz crotch, and jazz dinner. Next, try soft-boiled egg hands, a Fosse technique that can be found in his routines. The Rich Man's Frug, and Someone Gave Whiskey to the Orangutan. Then, move on to the Broken Doll Walk. You'll have mastered this move when you look like you're trying to rush aboard a subway train while keeping a chocolate cream egg in your beehole. Now you can blaze through the full repertoire of Fosse steps. The rake, the drip, the crane kick, baby made of noodles. Turn down your TV, Mrs. Rosenbaum. The downstairs neighbors lament. Sis boom sass, razzamaflares, farfoof and kurzow. And I can quit taking these diet pills anytime I want. This is your gal Barbara saying, diddle-a-diddle-a-diddle-a-diddle-a-diddle, that jazz, oh!
That was Broadway Barbara.
Broadway Barbara.
I wonder, does she have a string of these?
There's
I
a
just
string of
wanna
these. You can
know.
follow Broadway Barbara on TikTok.
First of all,
And
I love her voice. I
it's perfect.
absolutely
It's so
love her voice.
Perfect, so perfect. Now, this is the sad part, y'all,
Oh.
because I was meant to write down the actress's name.
Oh, we don't have her. I don't know her.
And they're doing a show in New York right
Get
now.
out of town. How
They're
do you
doing-
not
yeah.
have this information?
And I was supposed to write it down, but things have been a
Bethany,
little
Broadway
crazy.
Barbara. What's her name?
So we're gonna find out who they are and everything, because that is the most spectacular rendition for anyone. Just like, hey, David C. Nichols, I love and adore you, and I feel, you know what? Because I'm so bad at
But
returning
do you know
calls.
what they kept saying on Facebook? Like people who would watch it goes, I think I just watched that 10 times. Razzamaflash.
Razzamaflash. It's like, because anyone knows I am just like this Fosse fanatic.
Well, and I did you the soft boiled
And the
egg
softball,
thing. Yeah.
you know.
Or what is
Yes.
it? The baby made noodles.
Baby made the noodles. I love it. So there you go. Broadway Barbara. Bethany has posted it.
So follow her. I want to follow her. I love her.
Everyone
And
just
she has a show. That's
she
what I
has.
think is awesome.
Hey, Becky. Has a show
And
that's
that's cool.
happening in New York in like a week and a half. So if you're in the New York area, please go. And I hope that Bethany is posting all the information, Broadway Barbara official, in our little box there.
Speaking of the Confederacy.
And little boxes.
So Richmond, Virginia, which was the capital of the Confederacy.
Weren't you just there?
Well, no, I wasn't. Yeah, I did go to Richmond, but that was 3 years ago now.
Yeah, 3 years. Well, you
But
know.
they are finally going, hey, what would happen if we got rid of all of our Confederate statues? Bye-bye.
Bye, boo.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So Robert E. Lee, that statue was the largest statue, I think, in this, maybe Confederate statue, in the state of Virginia.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
I got choked
Cheers,
up by it. I have a little bit of the acid reflux for those of y'all who don't
I
know.
like that you say that because it sounds so glorious when you do. I have the acid reflux.
I do.
But they got rid of the Ding Dang statue, and to boot, they got rid of 15 other
Yep.
Confederate monuments in the city of Richmond, Virginia. So, and I have a photograph that I really liked that kind of commemorated this the most. That is Devin Henry, the one with the sunglasses on, and he is the head of the group that got rid of the statue, the kind of all the workers, and he is shaking the hand of Richmond Mayor LeVar Stoney. And the reason why this hit me is you have this white slave owner that is being, you see him in the background on his horse, and that's his statue for him, and they're getting rid of him, and here are these two black men just going, yep, we did it. We got rid of him. We got rid of him. Finally. But I love that photograph. I thought that was such an encapsulation.
Larissa, do you love it too?
Of what happened. Anyway, I loved the news. That was one.
Well,
of
you
my
know what?
favorites.
It's crazy that it is taken so long for us to. It's sort of like for me, President's Day.
Mm-hmm.
President's Day is like, oh, we get to pay honor to all the slave owners of our past. You know, those of us, the slave owners of our past, and then those of us who denied us our rights. Those of us who recently denied us our rights. Mm-hmm. And you go, no, I don't want to do that.
Well, that's what's
I
happening. I got to tell you, that's what's not being certainly wasn't taught in the schools when we were kids. Because I remember when they wanted to get rid of the Confederate flag. I think it was South Carolina has a bit of the Dixie flag in their design or something like that. Or maybe they just hung the Dixie flag from their capital or whatever.
Hung.
And I remember thinking at the time, now this goes back 25, 30 years. And I remember thinking, well, but I don't know, it's history. Why would you want to get rid of it? Don't we want to remember where we came from in our history? And I had to learn more, right? I mean, there's a process there. And unfortunately, I think a lot of white people are still, but it's part of. But here's the deal. I did some reading. Want to know? You know what happens when I do reading. But Robert E. Lee had slaves. He inherited slaves from his wife's side of the family, from his father-in-law, who told him on his deathbed, "I want you to free them in 5 years." And E. Lee was like, "You know what? I kind of need them because they make money and I need to keep the farm going. So I'm going to have them be slaves a little bit." And then went to court to extend the 5-year period. But so, yes, he was not a great man with this.
Oh.
He was that white person that actually infuriates you because
lost everything.
There are writings where he says, "Oh, I actually don't like the idea of slavery. I don't like it." But then he slips into, "But I need it to keep my lifestyle going," type energy, which is like, well, but you can't do it that way. So, hey, goodbye.
Bye, bitch. Anyway, speaking of slaves, can you
where are we going?
play something for me? Can you play? I'm going out of order because I felt
this is where I'm going.
I want to go to the other one, that one. Can we go there?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we
I
want to
talk about this one.
So we're just going to do it without a setup.
Yeah, because we're talking about slave owners and slave owners of the past.
Totally out of order.
I feel that
we're out of order.
We're out of order.
By the way, when you mentioned that the UK was ahead of us, they were. Do you know that the slave owners were compensated? After they lost their quote-unquote property, the government compensated slave owners.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so when people talk about reparations, do they really want to have that conversation? Because, like it or not, slavery was legal. And so their property, their legal property, was taken away from them after the Civil War. So you can make an argument that the people that are owed reparations, and not only just black people, but also the people whose quote property, close quote, was taken away after the end of the Civil War.
Beware, California. He could be your new governor.
So you got Ricky with an I and Rocky with the raccoons talking to each other.
That is Larry Elder talking to good old Candace Owens. This was about a year ago.
And for those of you who don't know, who don't live in California, Larry Elder is in a runoff right now against Gavin Newsom, our current governor.
I don't think that's the exact word.
It's not a runoff, it's a recall.
They're doing the recall. They're trying to first determine whether there'll be a recall. And we are here. This is our last day to tell you this. Californians, go vote. I would like you to vote no on the recall. What would you like?
No. Vote no.
Vote no.
Just vote no.
Vote no on the recall.
Because right now,
it's the last time we can tell you,
honey,
we need to get this done. Because Larry Elder, that man who just talked, that black man who was saying that the white slave owners should get reparations along with the slaves, that man is in the #1 spot to possibly take over Gavin Newsom as governor.
This is a man.
The state of California.
This is a man, and I use that term loosely, who hates being black. So much so, y'all ever see what's that movie, Django? And there Samuel Jackson played that old motherfucker who would have a black person killed in a heartbeat to progress himself up that ladder to make Massa feel good.
Mm-hmm.
That video you just saw is place #1 and place #2 on that ladder.
I will say this, if you choose to find that video, which I don't think is hard, I don't know how many interviews they've done together. If you just watch, I watched maybe 5 minutes more of it, and it makes you ill. These two people who are absolutely not for change, but for keeping status quo and for keeping the white man on top. I don't understand it. It makes absolutely no sense to my head.
It is, please. And I know I went out of order, and I apologize.
We're going to continue on this topic.
We're going to take because
we got another one. Might as well do it.
We got another one.
I am for a women's right to choose. I am also for a state having the ability to make their own laws. And so I support Texas in that decision. That's their decision. I'm okay with that.
But you're fine with the Texas law, even though you say that you support abortion rights. You are fine with a law that essentially outlaws abortion.
I think they have the right in their state to do what they want to do. Now, do I agree with the decision or not? No, to be honest with you, I actually probably do not agree with the decision.
Probably. We did not rehearse that.
That's the takeaway from Caitlyn Jenner. Also, we have to say this out loud, running for governor for the state of California.
During this recall. I do want to point this out.
Yes.
One thing that I will not tolerate, as much as I hate that heifer, I will not tolerate anyone calling them out of their name. Do not, under any circumstances, refer to them by their dead name, refer to her by her dead name, or by misgendering them. Do not do that, because there's enough reasons to hate the heifer. We don't have to hate them because of that.
Well, so if we misgender, then you can't call her a heifer.
I said, that's a female cow.
That was my point.
I can call her a heifer.
I said, but if we misgender her, then we can't call her.
I need to call her a heifer. Because, see, this heifer got on my nerves. Look, here's the deal.
Recall.
Here's the deal.
Vote no.
Vote no. Y'all.
That's all that is.
Just vote no on this recall. If you're in California, vote no. If you know people in California, call them and tell them to vote no. That's what you got to do.
Because you might get Larry Elder, you might get Caitlyn, you might get...
So everyone can participate. Ooh, and you too. Vote.
No, vote no.
That's Angeline.
That's Angeline.
Angeline is famous for being on a billboard. But here's the thing about Angeline.
Yes. What's the thing?
Caitlyn Jenner.
Yes.
Caitlyn Jenner is now polling, I was going to say trolling. Same difference. Polling at just at 1% in this.
It's not a
so
lot.
we're not worried about Caitlyn Jenner.
What's Angeline polling at? I don't even know.
Just under Caitlyn Jenner.
I thought you were going to say over Caitlyn Jenner.
No, they are polling almost equally.
I guess the bubble bath day didn't take.
Oh my gosh.
A yearly bubble bath day.
I'm just like, what in the actual hell?
Okay.
Oh, I just need to look at some comments real fast. Anybody say, okay.
Just
so anyway.
No.
Just vote no, please. Just do it. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
All right. What do you got next? What's next?
You got me all flustered.
I got you
flustered.
Like,
what am I doing next?
Because, by the way, I'm going to have a little bit of this because I put a little pineapple.
By the way, this is what I decided when I'm putting this show together. There seem to be 3 states in this union at the moment. It's California, it's Florida, and it's Texas. I don't know why those 3 states. See, here we're coming on to the 20th anniversary of 9/11. We're not talking about New York. No, we're talking about California, Florida, and Texas on the news. It's kind of fascinating to me. So I'm not even on my page. You keep moving me around. This, where am I? Happened in Texas.
When asked whether the law would force rape victims to give birth, this was the governor's response.
Rape is a crime, and Texas will work tirelessly to make sure that we eliminate all rapists from the streets of Texas by aggressively going out and arresting them and prosecuting them and getting them off the streets. So goal number 1 in the state of Texas is to eliminate rape.
And the White House response?
Well, if Governor Abbott has a means of eliminating all rapists or all rape from the United States, then there'd be bipartisan support for that. But given there has never in history of the country in the world been any leader who's ever been able to eliminate rapists from our streets, it's even more imperative. It's one of the many reasons, I should say, not the only reason, why women in Texas should have access to health care.
Thank you, Jen Psaki, because then we don't have to talk
Psaki
about
bomb.
it. Psaki bomb did it.
Boom.
She did it.
Psaki
I don't have
bomb.
to think about it.
Look.
Because that man, go.
Here's Greg Brewer just said this, and it's just like, I don't really, that he doesn't really care for what Newsom is doing, but he's going to wait till there's an actual election because that makes sense. It makes sense. And I want to say, vote no, and if you want to vote somebody out, wait till there's an actual election. So we hear everyone's side.
I agree with that. I mean, if you don't, I agree with that. What I hate about the recall, to be honest, is the 225 million or whatever what was the projected amount? It was just huge.
Do you know how many bottles of vodka I could buy with that?
For God's sakes, we could all get drunk.
If you drink. If you don't drink.
We could all drink coffee.
Yeah.
Pepto. Whatever your
here's the
thing
thing.
is.
I want to talk about this.
What
Is Jennifer Lee Warren, are you here tonight? Because Jennifer Lee Warren and her brother Mark are in Texas. Here's the deal.
Yes.
There are over 3,000 rape kits in Texas right now that are sitting on a shelf.
So these are kits that already have the specimen in it or whatever the thing is. Over 3,000 rape kits.
So they're not being sitting there,
not being tested,
not being followed through with, not just. So, sir, if you
Governor Abbott, sir,
if you want to actually catch these rapists that you're like, say, we're going to get rid of.
That's
we're going to get rid of every last
okay,
one of
Ebenezer,
them.
do it again.
Shout out had 3 auditions this week
for
Christmas Carol.
I need the big turkey.
He has helped me with 3 auditions for Christmas Carol, and we got another one coming up. I'm just letting you know. But if you want to do something, sir, you need to go back and reopen every last one of those cases and put somebody on each of those 3,000 plus cases.
Oh, there we go.
You want to do that? Do you want to do that? I'm right here. I'm waiting for you. You gonna do that? Shit. I'm so sick of y'all and you hot.
So Michael found this.
Hey, Rita Love. I love you.
One of my favorite people that I love to hear talk is Jane Elliott. I brought her on before. That makes it sound like I know her. I brought her clips on before. She's one of those people that has talked about, white woman who talks about race ever since, going back to, I remember watching Oprah, right? And the original Oprah, and she did this.
Should I do a white woman update with about your sister?
No, we're not doing that right now. Yeah, that's an interruption that was unnecessary.
That
was unnecessary. I said white woman.
Back to Scrooge.
We said unnecessary. We said a white woman, so that has to mean my sister. So, we talked about this last week. I'm not sure what update you have.
All right.
But she was a teacher, and she absolutely in her classes, or second grade and first grade, she taught elementary school. She taught the kids about race, and at a very young age, it was a big bouffant hairdo back in the time period. But this is her take. And this is about, 2017. So this is right after Trump took office.
And right now, white people are really frightened. If you don't understand the destruction of Planned Parenthood offices, and you don't understand the wall that we're going to build on the southern border of the United States, you haven't read the book, The Birth Dearth by Ben Wattenberg. Ben Wattenberg was a brilliant Jewish man who was a member of the American Enterprise Institute. And he wrote a book, the first paragraph of which says, "The main problem confronting the United States today is there aren't enough white babies being born in this country." He was an advisor to presidents of the United States. He wrote the book in 1987. He says if we don't change this and change it rapidly, white people will lose their numerical majority in this country, and this will no longer be a white man's land. He says there are 3 things we can do to solve this. Number 1, we could pay women to have babies, as they have been doing in Western European nations for years. Then he says, and these are his words, not mine, unfortunately, we would have to pay women of all colors to have babies, so we don't want to do that. He says the second thing we could do is increase the number of legal immigrants that are allowed into this country every year. Then once again he says, unfortunately, the vast majority of those wanting to come to this country today are people of color, so we don't want to do that. The third thing he says, and women had better pay attention to this, 60% of the fetuses that are aborted every year are white. If we could keep that 60% alive, that would solve our birth dearth. Does that sound like racism to you?
Jane Elliott speaks truth. Birth dearth. Did you ever hear that before? I had never heard of birth dearth.
I heard of Dick Girth.
And what you saw it? You saw it on TikTok, which I love the fact that Jane.
Yo,
Elliott,
I'm on the TikTok. I love me some TikTok.
There's Jane Elliott, who's as old as birth dearth.
I love me some TikTok. You ain't got to be a certain age to be on the TikTok. I love it. Y'all need to follow the TikTok.
So this is an embarrassing story. I find this absolutely. So we go from Texas, now we're moving over to Florida, because we did California, we did Texas, check, now we have to move over to Florida.
Hey, Jenny.
So this was the story. This was the story, Michael Shepard. On Wednesday, a Florida judge sided with parents and ruled that the state must stop enforcing the governor's ban allowing districts to require masks while the case is being appealed in higher court. So this happened on Wednesday. Today, Michael undercut me and said, no, we can't do that. I said, why can't we do that? He said, that's already been changed.
They've overturned it.
So we have a thing that Michael's going to read.
The First District Court of Appeal ruled Friday that a Tallahassee judge should not have lifted an automatic stay 2 days ago that halted enforcement of the mask mandate ban. The upshot is that the state could resume its efforts to impose financial penalties of the 13 school boards currently, defying the mask mandate ban.
Thank you. Those have included docking salaries of local school board members who voted to impose student mask mandates. So Florida, you're messed up. But then I keep reading, like Biden keeps saying, we're going to do something. And the DOJ and Merrick Garland, I get his name always backwards. We're going to do something. So we'll see. It seems like it's being fought on many levels. But at present, the anti-mask mandate, that is the strangest thing to say. The anti-mask mandate is in place in Florida.
First of all, I love the fact, Greg, that you said I dated Dick Girth. Oh, these get you a little drunky.
So I have
these hit you a little faster. I think it's like all the juice makes me a little.
Can I tell you, when I was testing this drink out, the next day I was shot. You saw me. I was like,
you were not happy. You were not happy.
It's a sugary drink, a sugary boozy drink.
And normally
you and I like our sugary boozy drinks.
We do, and normally we don't test out stuff. We test it out first on the show. We make it and we see what our reactions are going to be. We don't test it.
Apologizing for how.
No, I'm not apologizing.
We can change it around. We don't have to test it
but
then or there.
Because we want that live reaction. Do we like it? Do we hate it?
Maybe.
But
you want the live reaction.
We were like,
let's
taste this. Let's see what happens.
I have to say, and it's interesting because it could be rum. Honestly, you could put rum in there and be as.
Why don't we?
Now.
A dark rum floater.
On top of a vodka beverage. I think that sounds adorable.
All right.
So I have to do this. I have to. Okay, I'm going out of order again.
So we're out of order.
But I find
you're out of order. You're out of order.
But what hits me is the original case that went to court in Florida was brought by parents. Parents are like, I want my kids safe, and I don't know any parent that doesn't want their kids safe in school.
Apparently, you don't know Florida parents.
Well, those parents did want their kids safe in school, and that was overturned by someone else that wasn't a Tallahassee judge.
Because there's a bunch. Honey, there's a bunch of folks in Florida and Texas who are sitting up in school board meetings saying, I want to see my child smile. When they put that tube down your baby's throat, let's see how you smile.
So I have a story that I want to bring up. I know, okay. He kind of knows. He forgot because he's been drinking too much today. But when Maxwell was around 5, I want to say, I noticed that they got I thought they were bed bugs all over them. And so I took Maxwell to the doctor, who was Dr. Fleiss, Heidi Fleiss's father back in the day. That made you laugh.
Yo, Dr. Fleiss was Heidi Fleiss's daddy. Was our pediatrician. Let that sink in for just a hot minute.
And he reminded me of like Orville Redenbacher with the glasses changed.
He was lovely. He was a lovely man, and he had some issues, but.
Yeah, he was very mad at mothers that did not breastfeed. So it wasn't good. If you were that mother, don't go to Dr. Fleiss. Because he couldn't yell at us for not breastfeeding, but there we go.
Although, back in the day,
boop, boop, toot, toot.
They were up and about.
So Maxwell, I take them to the doctor. And little, like I said, is it bug bites? What am I looking at here? And the doctor said, not Dr. Fleiss, but one of the other doctors said, Maxwell has chicken pox. And I was like, and they already had the first vaccine, so the chicken pox were very light, which is why I didn't know what they were. And the doctor then said, could you please take Maxwell out the back door? And
luckily I will take my baby out the front door.
No, because why? I obeyed. I was obedient.
Yeah.
I don't want to infect
anyone
whoever
else
is in the lobby or whatever. I don't want to infect anyone else, and our child was contagious. So I took Maxwell out the back door. The reason why I bring this story up, so Maxwell goes to this high school, and last year they called and they said, oh, we're missing, Maxwell's missing the second vaccine. Remember, it's the weird one, like the DTaP or whatever. I always forget the name of them. And of course, I couldn't tell you what the DTaP was. And I looked it up and I went, oh, it's the measles, it's the chickenpox vaccine. And I went, oh, well, that makes sense that they're missing it because they never had it because they had the chickenpox. So I had to call the school back. And then I was laughing with them saying, well, but they're not going to school this year. So why are we even worried? Because of course, COVID and, all that learning. Well, they called again this year. They said Maxwell doesn't have the chicken. So this is LAUSD. LAUSD is like, we want you vaccinated, whether it's for chickenpox or, drumroll,
COVID. So LAUSD, which is second largest school district in the United States of America. The second. New York being the first, Chicago being the third. LA is the second largest.
They're the Oreo stuffing to Chicago and New York.
There's a white joke in there somewhere. I just can't find it yet. Oh no, I found it. I'm just not gonna do it. Boom. Anyway, so LAUSD has said, look, if your child is 12 or over, they need to be vaccinated to be on this campus.
This is what they're saying. I want you to boom. Ready? Here we go. This is what LAUSD is saying. They are mandating vaccines for children 12 and up. Boom.
Boom!
All district employees must be fully vaccinated by October 15th.
Boom!
As of, where's that? Oh, students must receive their second dose. This is in-school students. If they remote learn, I guess it doesn't matter. In-school students must receive their second dose by December 19th.
Boom. So, look, it makes me happy because now everyone my child is in school with will have at least been vaccinated.
I feel sorry for this goes back for me to the Florida parents who just want their kids safe, who just want them to, feel like they can go to school and be safe with the kids they're with and not get get the virus that they're then going to bring home. I totally understand that, Florida parents, and I'm with you on that.
Honey, it just makes me happy.
What are you doing?
Sorry.
That was so delightful. I want you to see it again in slow motion. If I had the capability, I would totally rewind.
Okay, that was a horrible bite of that pineapple. Oh my God, it tasted burnt, like champagne. It tasted burnt.
It was burnt.
Oh wait, can you play that real fast?
I don't have that.
You do?
No, I don't have it. It was burnt. I have chow for now. Do you want that?
Oh my God. It was so burnt.
Well, to give you a Dominique Devereaux moment.
Ciao. For now.
It's not the burnt champagne. It's that scene.
It's that scene where she has the burnt champagne.
Your champagne is burnt.
We're very excited here in Los Angeles.
And also, she didn't like the Savruga caviar.
Yeah. But we're very, very excited that this is happening. And I applaud. Sadly, her name is Megyn Kelly. She is the interim.
You're jumping.
No, I just want to congratulate. I was going to say Austin Butner, who is our big time LAUSDA president, but he has since stepped down, and so praise and kudos needs to go to the interim LAUSD president Megyn Kelly.
Is that for real?
Yeah, her name is Megyn Kelly. How sad is that?
I'm so sorry. We actually nixed a Megyn Kelly story for tonight's.
I'm going to do a little bit, though. Megyn Kelly said that no one needs to hear the Black National Anthem before football games.
Oh, God. So she has her own...
She don't want to hear it.
What is the
She has a podcast on Sirius.
Sirius, that's it. And they're advertising it all over the place. So for those of you who have Sirius, she was like,
she said even black people don't want to hear it. And I said, guess what, bitch? I'm coming to your house. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring. I'm not going to do it right now because I'm too little jointy. I'll fuck up the words. Because it's a hard song to learn.
I was going to say, it's a hard song. It's not an easy song to,
Because I refuse to sing the white national anthem.
Our country, 'tis of thee, or whatever we do. What did we do? Rockets red glare. Not easy to sing. I'm not.
And the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air.
Are you sure?
Gave proof Okay, these little sweet. We sit. What is happening? What is happening?
You can't keep doing what you're doing.
Barbara Haas is here. Hey, Barbara Haas.
Thanks. We'll
for
call
calling
you. Yeah.
You know what? You know what happened.
We know you, Barbara.
Hey, Barbara. You like fish?
That's not her.
Who was that?
That was Anna Hines.
Anna Hines.
I would love to know if anyone knows in New York Anna Hines, a character actor. Let me know. I'd love to know if she's still around. She was.
Oh, she was.
She remember when the World Trade, there was the explosion in the car park before it went down. This is like 2 or 3 years before.
Yep.
She was in the building that day. She has this whole story about walking down the stairs and everything. Anyway.
Well, you know what? Can we go to that then? Since we're talking about terrorist acts.
Yes.
Can we go to September?
Do you have
11?
Well, you may do whatever you want. I feel this is freeform.
Okay, I'm gonna show y'all something. We actually take notes on shit, right? And talk about things in order. Donovan, what's up, baby?
I do have a Biden thing. So that's
right,
something to do with the
Biden.
Biden.
We go to a Biden thing as
Go
well.
to yours.
But I just want to say this because tomorrow is the 20th anniversary of September 11th. And I just want to send a shout out to everyone that was affected by this, which means basically all of us who are all y'all here. But when that happened 20 years ago, we were laying in bed.
We were asleep.
And my sister, I said we were laying in bed.
I agreed with you. That was me agreeing with. I said so laying in bed. I was actually
so laying.
I was tying us together. I wasn't being argumentative.
Yeah. Yes.
But my question is, why would you hear me as being argumentative?
Because we've been married.
Mr. Therapist, why does he hear me as being argumentative?
Because in October we
were
together
again.
24 years.
Just Scrooge
24 years. Oh, you old coot.
She's an old poop. Coot
or
poop?
Coot or poop.
Oh, you all.
Well,
poop?
I think because it was like in Soap Dish. I'm going somewhere. Soap Dish the movie.
So we went from on Golden Pond to Soap Dish in nary a second.
Because they
nary.
And the nominees for lead actor are
you old coot.
Henry Fonda for Coot.
No, it wasn't Henry Fonda. They didn't do that.
No, Henry Fonda for Coot. Somebody for
that
Codger.
Wasn't Soap Dish. You are so
shit.
wrong.
That was In and Out.
That was In and Out.
That was In and Out.
It was Glenn Close.
That was Glenn Close doing it In and Out.
So they filmed the Oscar scene. Have you remember that? So the whole thing came about because who was it? Someone outed their acting teacher, Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks
outed his acting teacher, and in and Out, they kind of redid it with Matt Damon outing Tom with
Kevin Kline. Anyway,
and Glenn Close did the thing. Okay, that's going to be on our next show. We're going to do this on Ski Beach.
Coot,
but definitely, it was definitely Clint Eastwood for Codger.
Yeah,
for some reason.
All right,
and then it was and Steven
Seagal for Snowball's Chance in Hell.
Can you tell the movies that we like? Have you figured that one out yet?
100 times.
We even watched In and Out Natures.
I watch it.
Where are you going with any
I'm
of
going
this?
back. I'm going back to. So the morning this happened, we were asleep.
We went from 9/11 to that.
I know. I don't.
Damn, it's these drinks.
20 years. That's what happens. Okay. So anyway, we were asleep, and my phone kept ringing. The phone kept ringing.
Circles.
Like, what the hell? And it was my sister Rita who called. Y'all okay? Y'all okay? And I was like, why wouldn't it be okay?
And weirdly enough, I answered the phone. Do you remember this? I talked to her, and she said, the towers are down in New York. I just want to make sure you're not traveling. And I remember thinking, oh, God, Rita must be mistaken. Like, I couldn't imagine. And we go into where our TV is. Well, I did. I turned on the TV,
and
there's the image. And I was like, yeah.
You screamed, and I jumped up out of bed.
That was insane.
And I ran in. More than wood, I'm running in the room. And it was like, and that was it was devastating. It was so devastating.
And of course, the first thing I thought of were because we had left, this was
We had just, it was like a year and a half.
A year and a half we left New York. So we had a lot of friends in New York and Manhattan and everything. And they were all affected. I think of Carla specifically, who was on a train going downtown because she worked right next to World Trade.
Yeah.
And the subway just stopped. And they're like, sorry, we just have to stop right now. But I mean, there's so many of those stories. I think about people talking about the air quality and what that was like for like months, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was like a huge amount of time.
But
and at that point we liked Giuliani. Remember, he was sort of like the mayor that
America's mayor.
He was good.
And the thing that I remember the most
that
the thing that I want to talk about is because there was a moment, and it was about 5 days after all of this happened.
Yeah.
I was driving in LA, and I was driving down Brand Boulevard, which is like the boulevard of the cars. Anyone who lives in the town knows this is a boulevard where every car dealership is. And I'm driving down, and there were all these cars passing me, and they all had American flags. And anyone who knows me knows I hate the American flag. I can't stand the American flag. But I was listening to the three black tenors. Was it called? Three Mo tenors. Because there's the three tenors, which is like three
Andrea Bocelli and I can't remember the rest. Is it Pavarotti maybe?
Pavarotti and the hot one. They're the hot.
We're gonna move forward.
Anyway,
can you name the Mo tenors? I can't even name the three Mo tenors.
Here, but this thing called three Mo tenors, and they're all black men.
There's the one guy that's a counter tenor who's really
I'll think of it in a second. And I was playing "Let Them Hear You" on this soundtrack, and at one point I looked out, and from Let Them Hear You from Ragtime. And I looked out and I saw these American flags flying.
I'm so confused.
And I took so much pride in America.
Mm-hmm.
I took so much pride in the flag because I was listening to these black men sing about "Let Them Hear You," which is singing about the voices of not just tenors, but also just of black folks. And there was so much pride there. And in 20 years, I have lost every single ounce of it.
Why are you challenging me with your eyes? They're challenging.
I'm challenging everybody. I've lost every bit of pride. Every bit of pride.
Lost pride. Oh, pride for our country.
For our country.
No, and the flag does not.
Burn it in a heartbeat.
I gotta say, the problem is when I see a flag these days, I think it's probably being flown by someone that thinks opposite to my thinking. That's how I think.
And please let me know. Put this. I want to hear you guys. I want to hear what you think.
We're getting some things.
I literally look at the flag, and all I can think right now is racism. That's all I do. I look at it and I think racism.
I have no need to correct you on that. I'm like, no.
I look and see racism. There was a moment 20 years ago, 20 years, in 6 days from now, 20 years, where I would look at the flag and I thought, there's this pride because I thought we're going to get through this. We're all going to do this. And now 20 years later, I have nothing but contempt and hatred toward that flag. It's just where I am. And I want to hear if everyone else agrees with that or has thoughts about that because it's deep. It's deep. Greg says it's becoming the new Confederate flag. It is. As far as people, black folks. By the way, I also want to make sure that
I don't think it's just black folks.
Black folks and people of color are two different things.
Oh God, I use that interchangeably. I'm learning.
Black folks,
but then I don't understand
indigenous
the explanation.
Folks, people of color.
Well, who are people of color then?
Kim Yarborough says
that was
No. People of color. I mean, there are northern Africa. What is it? Northern Africa It's folks.
I think. Can I tell you? This is my.
Well, like brown people.
This is my.
Indians.
That was
folks from India. Folks Latinos. Those are people of color.
But I don't know why. Why are we differentiating people of color?
Because black folks don't fit into just people of color. Because people of color homogenizes what black folks are.
But it probably homogenizes everyone. It's not.
No,
just
yeah,
black
yeah.
people.
So
it would homogenize
I
people
think-
from India and
I think
Latinx
people
and
of color
down the
is
line.
just putting us in a bunch of putting us in this group.
Well, I actually appreciate that. No one
But
wants
it's
to be
like
put
I
in
just
that.
want to say, no, black folks don't belong in this POC thing. I just
But
BIPOC, black, indigenous people of color. So it's like it's crazy. Anyway, that's my feelings behind this flag thing. David C. Nichols, thank you for posting that. Make them hear you, baby.
Make
All
them
right.
hear you. It's
All
a
right.
beautiful
So, what do you
song.
want to say?
Well, it's not what I want to say. It's what our president said today, yesterday. I forget which. Yesterday. He said this yesterday.
Local school officials are trying to keep children safe in a pandemic while their governor picks a fight with them and even threatens their salaries or their jobs. Any teacher or school official whose pay is withheld for doing the right thing, we will have that pay restored by the federal government 100%.
So I think that clip followed a previous segment that we didn't follow it with, so that didn't make tons of sense. The important takeaway for the Biden speech yesterday was that he announced federal COVID initiatives that we found that we liked. Brilliant.
First of all, Don Haney, hey, Linus is safe. He's in school. Don't worry, girl.
Don't know what that means.
If you need something, we got him.
I'm wondering if it's code.
All right, it's code. It's coded. All right, so what do you think about what he said?
Well, it's not what I think. It's about what those initiatives are. So, for instance, all employers who have more than 100 employees, they need to be fully vaccinated. You were riffing with me on it in our rehearsal.
I was reading because Barbara Haas said, okay, if you want to associate the flag with a positive, come up with an image that does it for you. I get it. Come on. I get it.
You're not at all feeding into what I just said.
All right, say it again.
No, I'm not saying it.
Say it again.
Also, one of Biden's COVID initiatives is for all federal employees and contractors to be vaccinated. Once again,
So
it's all
here's the
about
thing.
people being vaccinated. No, this isn't near this thing. Also, healthcare workers that receive funding from Medicare or Medicaid, vaccinated. You're supposed to be doing like vaccinated or kabooms or something. This is how we do it.
so-
You can't just start laughing and then not doing what you normally do.
kaboom!
There we go. Now we're there. They want school staff vaccinated. They want the TSA will double fines on travelers that refuse to wear a mask.
Okay, because
Kaboom that. Kaboom it. Kaboom it. There we go.
Because look, here's the deal.
I don't know that you take notes well.
This is why
Do I ever want to
that's why
direct
I
you?
barely got through college. I don't take notes well. That's why I don't have an acting career. I don't take notes well.
Drink, please.
Oh, hi. I'll do that for you. I do take drink notes.
So this is,
That's why I was
can I
invited.
tell you what my thought, I know you want to go somewhere else, but just let me round this out. My thought about what Biden said, I imagine that the backlash is going to be huge. There's already like governors going, we're not going to do it in South Carolina. I'm blaming South Carolina without knowing really if that was the thing. But there are governors that are like, going to take it to court. They're going to do this. He's overstepped. He's overreached. Listen, in this time of COVID, do you think we've overreached?
No, but my hair is messed up.
No, you got to focus on this, though.
I am with you.
I'll do this. We have to have extra support here. And that is what the man is doing.
Thank you.
I just,
Did you just spit?
Yeah.
You just spit in my...
That's how white people do it. Anyway, so I think, oh my God, I've lost all
Now,
train of
see,
thought.
we are going to go back to this whole train of thought about washcloths.
I
White
hate-
people and washcloths.
No, I don't use washcloths. I don't like washcloths. It's a germ catcher.
Y'all, we're going to talk about this.
Give me my bar of soap and leave me alone. That's what I am saying to you there.
I'm just going to let that be right now.
Where do we-
Because I love
How
you.
do we get to washcloths?
Because I love
We're talking
you.
about COVID and about the not the restrictions, the initiatives. There's the word.
All right, so there's this.
I'm done with initiatives. But what did you think of Biden's speech? Do you think any of it's going to happen, or do you think it's all going to be challenged?
Oh, that's just going to happen. Because my favorite thing.
Well, then all the companies, United, and I forget all the companies.
Oh, there's
United is amazing. United's like, look, if you can't take the COVID vaccine because of being religious, we're laying you off. Go over there, sit down. United is not playing.
All right. So just to clarify what he just said,
because I'm drunk.
Yeah. So United said, yes, we expect all of our employees to be vaccinated. Oh, I have a religious exemption. All right, you can have a religious exemption, but until it is safe for you to come back to work, you can sit at home.
Not getting paid.
Not getting paid. Because because you have a religious exemption does not mean, does not mean that we can bring your ass back to work to bring your diseased ass.
And this is the important
and affect all these other people.
One of a very important tag on to what you just said.
Tag it on.
Not one religion. I'm going to say that once more time. Not even Christian Science la-di-di-la. Not one religion has come forward to say that it is against their religion to get a COVID shot. Not one. Not one. So when people say,
Science, la-di-di-la.
I like that religion.
What religion are you? Christian Science, la-di-di-la.
This is going on the reel.
We have jumped the shark. We have jumped the shark.
All right.
We have so much more to talk about, and we got what? Shit, we're late. We're in an hour.
I'm doing.
Play the last thing.
There isn't a last
What's
thing.
the last? So we gotta play something.
Why isn't this working?
Why isn't what working?
I don't know.
Oh, you set it up.
I know.
We sit here.
I know. Okay, so anyway, I have a piece of information.
What's happening?
So this is too funny.
So
there was an auction. Well, let's just if you keep talking about how bad the show is, they're going to tune out.
I didn't say the show was bad. I said we're going long. Come on.
No, so we're going long. I mean, some shows go long. I mean, you just let it happen. You don't talk about.
We are not The View.
Well, that's true. So there was a sale of Elvis's items.
All right.
I would like you to read the description of an item that sold at auction that was about Elvis. So you ready to read? Go.
All right. This collection of hair. Y'all, I've not seen these before. This collection of hair was saved from haircuts given to Elvis Presley by his personal barber, Homer Gilliland. Over the years, it represents the largest and most well-documented collection of Elvis's hair in the world. This isn't a lock of hair that you typically find, but a massive baseball-sized specimen, which has not been offered for sale in nearly 20 years.
So I have a quiz, and it's only one question.
What is the question?
How much was a jar of Elvis's hair auctioned off for? Was it A, $7,250,000, B, $72,500, C, $725, I did that wrong, or D, $7.25.
Okay.
Which do you think a jar of Elvis's hair sold for? And
you know what I think?
No.
What kind of white foolishness is this? That's what I think. I can't even comment on this shit because this is a bunch of white ass foolishness.
Anyone can play this game.
Y'all can sit and put whatever the fuck y'all want. Just know this is a bunch of white ass foolishness. Selling this dead ass hair.
No, someone said $7,000.
Hey Robin, love you. Pip Lily's here. Pip Lily.
Pip Lily says B. He says
Sebastian was using the bathroom. It's Pip Lily.
Dion, we talked about your movie. Said $7 million.
Dion was here earlier. He's been here.
Oh, I didn't know he was here earlier. And then Gloria.
Oh, it's so good to see your husband, Dion.
Do you have a guess? You have to.
All right. Do I have a guess?
You don't need to. We're here to tell the things.
Well, okay. Do I have a guess?
Michelle Banks says lice. It's a jar. It's the largest. It's the largest jar of Elvis hair that exists. Well documented in the wording. It is well documented Elvis hair.
All right, we gonna go after this bullshit.
You gotta say what you say.
We gonna go. I'm gonna have to go for $72,500.
The answer, my husband, is $72,500. Someone bought a wad of Elvis hair.
Jason Kennedy, Donovan, what the fuck, y'all?
Oh my God.
Can y'all call y'all's people and just say, why y'all selling this motherfucker's hair for 70?
You're so beautiful.
I am.
We have one more piece.
Oh shit. Okay, let's go.
One more.
Let's go.
That's
Let's
it.
go. Let's go.
So
This
Patton
shit's empty.
Oswalt, the wonderful comedian,
who lives around the corner from
who
us.
lives somewhere nearby. He canceled 2 shows. He canceled 2 shows. One was in Florida, the other was in Salt Lake City, because the venues.
Manasa. Go.
Is that? Do I say a makeup
No,
word
go.
too?
No.
Petito. Because the venues would not confirm that the audience would either be vaccinated or would have had a recent COVID test. So that happened. So he canceled these 2 events. Ted Cruz decided to get in the mix, and he said,
both of his fans were disappointed. You know what, Ted? Okay, again.
No, you don't have to do this.
I don't know
you
any
don't
of
have
this.
to do this.
This is his.
Patton Oswalt did all of this. So Patton Oswalt has a couple of responses.
Sigh. Okay, Ted, here we go. Not as disappointed as Texas was when you cut your Cancun vacation short and came home.
That was good, right?
Ted, you tweeted this at 1 a.m. Put the phone down and return to liquid form for a few hours. Ted, my fans are all at home waiting to see you at the January 6th hearings. I'm so flattered you took time from your porn scrolling for this, Ted. Well, that was fun. As always, Ted, you're a friendless, cowardly embarrassment and your beard looks stupid.
Thank you, Patton Oswalt, for ending our show.
I just want to say this. It's always so weird to walk into the grocery store by our house and there's Patton Oswalt shopping. It's weird. Play the song.
Boozing with gays.
Good night, everybody. We love you.
Good night.
Well, most of y'all.